it stop? I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, leaving you tomorrow. Seems to me, girl, I've done all I can. You see, I beg, stole, and I borrowed. Ready? So I am easy like Sunday one. So I am easy like Sunday one. Good evening, everybody. Hey, good to see you. Well, it's live at 8, at 7. Well, what the hell? But look, it's good to see you. For all of those thinking, who's this lunatic with a ukulele? We've even got Christmas jingle bells here, because that's how festive we are feeling. Look, good to see you. Lots going on. For those of you who might recall, over this period of pandemic, I broadcast every night for the best part of sort of 4 to 5 months, and that was because they were difficult days, they were challenging days, and I feel folks, it is equally challenging at the moment. We've got some amazing guys and girls out there, superb, with all those years of experience at the moment, sort of jumping ship and decided that social care isn't for them, and that's absolutely fine. There's no judgment here whatsoever. You've got to do what's right for you. And we've only got one life, but I just feel that there is a place once again for maybe some of their lives just to support people, support each other, to support me at this really challenging time. And guys, this has been a tough one. Oh my God, I've had in the last year, so the last 2 years. And when you think it was sort of a year ago, sort of 80 or 40 months ago, we were doing all the broadcasts over the pandemic. But in that period, I've had more HR issues than I've ever had in my life. We had multiple tribunals on currently at any one time. We dealt with several lockdowns and outbreaks at both Birkdale Park and also Rosebank. I've had some chronic staffing issues. I've had to do shifts myself. It's just been mad, guys. It's been mad. It's mad. We're a nursing home, and I had no nurses, and I had to step in. CQC fully aware of that. Local authority were fully aware, because I just had no nurses, and I had to step in and do several shifts. And thankfully, no one died on my shift. So look, guys, it's great to be back. It's great to see you guys and girls out there. So what's the purpose of this? This is about looking after every single one of us here in the inner circle and, of course, wider. It's about supporting social care. It's about supporting you amazing managers out there. And I don't want to see any more of you leave. Now, of course, if you're going to leave, you're going to leave. And that's, and we wish you well. Of course we do. But, folks, if it means a phone call to me, if it means, some amazing people in our group, just truly amazing, then, let's do that. Let's support people, because at times it can be about reframing. It can be about the most darkest times in the world, but it just takes someone to lean on just to say the right thing at the right time, just to say, look, maybe it's not as bad as what you think. You will get through this. You'll be absolutely fine. To give you some ideas in terms of innovating, to give you some ideas in terms of recruiting staff. And, and after, if you've done all of that, then, hey, maybe that's the time to say, look, let's throw the towel in. And again, there's absolutely no judgment whatsoever in doing that, and some, life is short. We know that life is short. So you've got to do what's right for you. So look, with some lovely people here, we've got we've got Facebook user. That just means if you're from outside the group, or you haven't given your a StreamYard your permissions, it sort of comes up with that. So hi Danny, hi Amanda. We've got Tina. Hello Tina, good to see you. It'd be great to have a session actually with Tina. She's an amazing consultant, doing some amazing stuff and supporting people all over. A Facebook user sounds like a good idea, because boy, this is a challenge. It's a massive challenge. There's Amanda Griffiths, who's one of our lovely people. I'm getting resignations on a weekly basis, absolutely mad, and so very sad. But it's not the end of the world, guys. That's what this is about. It's not the end of the world. Because there is stuff we can do. There is stuff we can do. Hi, Jonathan. Or I'm stepping down, not leaving. I would never do that. Love being a nurse and management. It's so difficult at the moment. I know that, Linda, and I've seen posts as well. And we wish you well. Whatever you do, you're going to be super fab, super fab. That's what it's about. But it's this is it. We can all do this because you guys are truly amazing. So tonight, very briefly, I'm just going to cover some bits and bobs. Some of it is pretty bond or obvious. Some of it might not be, but I think just initially just say, look, there's going to be a few more of these posts, a few more of these broadcasts, and if we can help each other, let's reach out to each other. And also, if you know anyone who's not in the inner circle, bring those guys and girls in, because we can all help. The first thing is just to say that it has been tough. It continues to be tough. We're probably in the toughest, I personally feel at the moment. It's far tougher than anything I faced in the pandemic. And there's a number of reasons for that. Because, of course, during the pandemic, the likes of CQC, everyone was hands off. Everyone was saying, look, just focus. We were inward looking, making sure that we kept the virus out of our homes. Of course, there was no visiting. There was no CQC. There was no threat of inspection. There was nothing. And, of course, everyone was massively supportive. And they continue to be supportive. But, of course, now that you do feel that there is the loom of CQC inspection. And indeed, we've had multiple, we took on a new contract with the local trust, and that was a challenge for us. That really was a challenge. As a result of that, we had several safeguardings, of course, generated by me, absolutely appropriate. But it meant that we went from what's called, and I don't know if people are aware of this, you go from Stage 1, so level 1 is all homes who are pretty much off grid, no issues, no concerns, either keeping their head down or just, they're doing a great job, a fantastic job, no safeguarding, no notifications, are very, very few, no reason or issue, no reason for concern. Level 2 is where there have been some safeguarding, some notifications, and as a result of that, they're placed into this sort of amber box by CQC, right? Birdsdale Park's been here in this amber box by CQC. Absolutely fine, because we're dealing with such very, very frail, very, very acute residents and patients. And as a result of that, we've safeguarded a number of issues in terms of wound care, tissue viability, nutrition, hydration, falls, etc. So all entirely justified. But it meant, though, that there was a direct monitoring inspection, which was placed on us, which was about a week ago, and that was a 2-hour inspection. I'll cover that actually on another night. It went absolutely fine. Meant that we've been lifted out of that, and it'd be interesting just to show you some of the question sets. God, excuse me. And then, of course, there's red. CQC inspectors dressed in black, abseiling down the outside of your building and blowing doors off because it's such high risk, and they've got real, genuine concerns over safety and what's going on in there, and that's absolutely appropriate. So, and I've been dealing with that, and on a personal basis, it's been probably the most emotional, toughest time I've faced. With staff, multiple staff resigning. And most of those, ironically, haven't actually gone into another care home or social care. They've either gone to move on to be nurses, or they've gone into a completely different sector, or they've decided that it's the end of the day and they just want to step down, from social care, etc. So there's no issues with that. So who else we got here? Sunday night Brucey bonus. Hello, Amanda again. Great to meet up again. You guys having a conversation with yourselves? I think you are. Good. Right. Let's go back to that. So there we go. Right. So you're all amazing. So I just want to go through some very, very some basic stuff that's really helped me. Right. Let me just tell you the first thing. And I heard this about it was about a year ago actually. And I saw it on I think it was on LinkedIn, by one of my older army mates. And he said, in terms of leadership, and this is a cracking one, he said, it doesn't matter how bad the situation is at that moment in time. It doesn't matter how bad the situation or the crisis that you faced, the situation that you faced, the circumstance that you are in. There is always one more thing you can do to improve your situation and to ultimately improve your odds. There's always one more thing you can do. And this is the best bit. And when you've done that one more thing, there's always one more thing you can do. And that, I came back, and I've found that the most useful thing, because when I feel the chips are down, my back's against the wall, I always go, there's one more thing you can do. And then when I've done that, I always know there's one more thing you can do. And that sort of positive mental attitude, always digs it out of me, in terms of solution. Right, I'll just show you this briefly. Some of this will be, you go, well, that's obvious, Cunningham. Would you like my new studio? I was in the front room, but the missus just said you can't have that studio in the front room anymore. So I got binned out there. So here we are. So here's the plan. We can call it anything, right? The first one is just reframe the situation. There's a lot of negativity going on around at the moment, and you could be forgiven for believing it has never been this bad. It's never been this grave, and that and there's nothing. We're all doomed. Well, we're not all doomed. And as much as the situation is bad, social care will still be here in 10, 15, 20 years' time. It'll be a different model, and it'll have its own challenges. But we're not all doomed. We've just got to get over this particularly challenging period. This is a storm that we find ourselves, and we will get through the other side. And it's no different to Birkdale Park. No matter how bad it is in a particular time, we will still be there in 5, 10 years' time. And that's why you just take moment at a time, hour at a time, shift at a time, day at a time, week at a time, get through that. And, the sun and the rainbow and the sun will always shine. It will always be a better day. As Captain Tom said, tomorrow will be a better day. So reframe the situation. Yes, it might be bad. It might feel bad, but it's probably not as bad as what you think. So reframe the situation in your head. Right, positive mental attitude. That is not meant by any means to be insulting to any of you. But there is a real thing as a leadership here. And there's a big difference when you go into your home in the morning, regardless of the staffing situation, and people look at you and say, we've had 2 people call in sick. The immediate reaction they look at from you is your reaction to that. How will Cunningham deal with it? What is this going to be initial reaction? And if your reaction is, wailing and gnashing of teeth and going around like a headless chicken, then I can tell you now that's going to be a pretty crap day. Or you can go, right, you can look them straight in the eye and go, right, okay, well, it's not the end of the world. Have you done the following? Right, let's see who's on housekeeping. Let's see who can drop into the following. Okay, let's see. And as I always say, as long as they're safe, as long as they're clean, we're going to be fine. We might have to reconfigure the operations of the day, but we will be absolutely fine, and we'll get through this. And so, and tomorrow I'll give you some of the ideas that we came up with. Make a positive attempt to be happy, which again, that's not meant to be insulting, but you can make a big difference. You can drive to work and go, I don't care how bad it is, I'm going to have a happy day. By Christ, I'm going to have a happy day. And you can have a happier day. You don't have to be, jumping off rainbows and all the rest of it with ukuleles, but you can certainly, your positive mental attitude will make a massive difference, not just to yourself and your own mental well-being, but to all of your staff around you. Because the alternative is being bloody miserable and pulling everyone down. And if there was an advantage to doing that, if I would say to you, no, there's a real good advantage, because if you're miserable and you moan about stuff and you look things negatively, there's a big advantage to doing that. But there's not a single circumstance where being negative has ever helped the situation at all. There's not one. So you might as well be positive with it, and try and be happy. Look after yourselves. That is absolutely critical, because at the moment, I had a tendency to stop to reduce my running, and I felt it only because I wanted to get back into work quickly. And so my full morning. So I get up every morning at 4:45. I work from 5 till 7, typically 5 till 8. So I do 3 hours every morning, Monday to Friday, which gives me 15 hours productivity that no one else has had before the day starts. So effectively, I've got an additional 2 days that no one else has in their day, in their week, in their working week. What it means is that your productivity just goes through the hoofing roof. But it means you can handle stuff. It means you're not stressed. It means you're on top of your game. It means you can sort things out. And the final one here is stop listening, stop exposing yourself, listening to negativity, because there's loads of it on social media. There's absolutely loads of it. You can surround it. The 3 things you should always do, right? Here we are. This will write it down. The first one is make sure the environment within which you work is tidy and sorted. If you're in a complete car crash of an office, I can tell you now, you will not be in a positive frame of mind. But if you sort your office out, if you get rid of all the clutter, it feels a nice place to work. You've got some nice plants, and you get rid of all that crap out. I can tell you now that you will start, and you're same with your home as well. But your working environment is so important to you. Also, you've got to make sure you declutter your head and what you're exposed to in your head. So don't be switching on your social media with about how bad social care is and how we're all doomed and all the rest of it, because that is just going to feed the beast, and that's not great. And the other thing as well, the final one, is that make sure that you surround yourselves with positive people. And if there's 1 or 2 in the organization, then absolutely get them alongside you, because it is going to be testing. Right, folks. So there you go. So Ukulele Man's back. Folks, we'll see you very soon. Look after yourselves. Have a great day, and we'll see you again. Right, bye for now.